These are 5 reasons why you are getting ghosted by Canadian employers. Hello, my name is Grace Insight and welcome back. If you have been applying to jobs time and over again in Canada, whether you're applying online, whether you're already in Canada and you're still getting the same result, ghosted, or getting an email telling you sorry, we can't move on with your application. Please pay attention to this video and you'll be understanding exactly what you have been missing or what you have been doing the wrong way. In Canada, there is something called Canadian job market. And if you don't understand how Canadian job market works, what Canadian employer expect, what Canadian hiring managers are looking for, you can struggle for years, for months, for weeks in Canada without landing a job. And then you begin to hear people say, there is no job in Canada. Don't waste your time. Canadian employers are not hiring. All these things are false. Canadian employers are actively hiring. In fact, this 2026, there have been massive recruitment ongoing. Yes, but you cannot get hired if you're doing the wrong things. You cannot get hired if you're not positioned in a way that you'll be seen. If you're not seen in Canadian job market, you are not hired. So what are you doing to be seen? Even if you have the highest qualification, you have PhD, you have 20 years of experience, you have your master's, but your resume is not showcasing this in the way that it will get Canadian employers' attention, you will still struggle in Canadian job market. Yes, it's not about your education. It is not about your qualification because Canadian employer never get to meet you in person. They get to meet your resume first before they consider whether they will meet you in person or not. Now, let's get into it. Number 1 reason why you are struggling in Canadian job market, why you are getting ghosted, is that you are not applying to the right jobs. Yes, I said it. A lot of people waste weeks, months, years applying to the wrong jobs. For example, you are a nurse in Canada and you are not yet licensed as a nurse in Canada, but all the job you are applying to is nursing job in Canada. You are applying to the wrong jobs. You are a dentist outside of Canada and you are in Canada, but you're not yet licensed as a dentist in Canada and you're applying to job to work as a dentist in Canada. You are applying to the wrong job. You're outside of Canada and you're applying to jobs in Canada, but you're applying to jobs to the employers that are looking to hire people that are already in Canada. You are wrong. You are applying to the wrong jobs. Now, let's fix this for you. If you're already in Canada and maybe you are in a licensed profession, please do not go applying to the jobs that requires licensing. If you're a nurse, you can start applying to jobs like caregiving, nursing aid, PSW. These are jobs that you can start working in without being licensed. Because no matter your years of experience in another country, if you come to Canada, you must make sure you meet the requirement for the province where you are in order to be eligible to practice. Until then, please do not apply to all those jobs that are licensed in Canada because it will be waste of your time, waste of your energy, and it will kill your spirit. It will kill your motivation. If you're a medical doctor, I can understand you're a PhD holder. Please apply to jobs that are not licensed. Apply to jobs that are called starter jobs, survival jobs, a job that will get your feet in the door, a job that will introduce you to Canadian job market, Canadian community, Canadian culture. You cannot just jump from above and you want to enter into a licensed profession. You are not yet licensed, you have not taken any exam, you will struggle. That is why you come and say, 2 years in Canada, no job. Which job are you applying to? Are you applying to a licensed job? Are you expected to get hired to start practicing without license? So stop making that mistake. And if you're outside of Canada, please, there are certain jobs that you cannot apply to. If you're applying on Job Bank, any job that shows the global sign means they can hire from anywhere across the globe, across the world. But anyone that shows Canadian sign means that it is only for people in Canada. And please watch my other videos so that you will see where I have explained in detail how to apply to jobs successfully using Job Bank Canada, so that you will know exactly where to look depending on where you are applying from or your status. Now, the second mistakes that keep people ghosted in Canadian job market is your resume. This one is a huge part. Stop using generic resume. Stop using AI resume. Your resume in Canadian job market must be intentional. It must be a commanding resume. It must be a functional resume if you have no experience in Canada. And you must make sure that it is job specific. It is specific to that job. If an employer have mentioned in the job posting that they are looking for someone that can multitask, they are looking for someone that is attention to detail, that they are looking for someone that is able to stand for longer hours, and your resume are not reflecting these things, that is already a mistake. Now, if you're in Canada and you're applying to job, mind you that your resume should fall in this sequence that I will narrate here. I have a separate video where I have explained in detail about Canadian style resume. Go and watch it. Now, the first part of your resume should have your name, your contact information, and your address. It should have that. Now, mind you that your resume is just the summary of your skill, of your experience, of your education, of your professionalism. Your resume should not have all the detail. Your resume should not be more than 2 pages. Reserve other details for your cover letter. But your resume must be as simple as possible, as straight to point as possible. Please, your resume for Canadian job market should have no picture in it, should have no religion, no age, no gender. All these things are irrelevant in Canadian job market. It actually makes your resume to get into the trash. So please, it is important that you understand this. Then after putting your name, your contact information, next thing is your summary part. If you don't have years of experience in Canada, please, you don't have to do professional summary. You can just go straight to summary. And that summary, because it is a functional resume, must have and showcase your skill, because functional resume are resume meant for people that have no Canadian experience. So which means you're trying to apply to job based on your passion, based on your interest, based on your skill. And that is what the summary part should reflect in your resume. And also, summary part should also reflect the exact keywords that the employer is looking for, which means before you apply to any job, you need to open that job posting, look at what the employer is looking for, the key responsibilities, the qualification, things that are important to the employer, the skills that the employer is looking for. Find a way to summarize it into your resume so that the summary aspect of your resume will have the key words that the employer is looking for. That is how you make your resume job specific, employer ready, and commanding. After this part, you go down to your work experience. Your work experience must have the job title, the organization where you have worked, the years that you worked with that organization, and the duties you perform. Please, mind you that your duties should not only be task oriented. It should not be just task listing. Rather, it should be result oriented. You should be able to frame the duties you have performed into result oriented. Instead of saying, I declustered an environment, make it sound like I made sure that environment were safe for the resident. That is a result oriented. Your result is safety oriented. So please make sure that your duties are not just task oriented, but result oriented, safety oriented. Things like that depends on the work that you're applying to. Now, another important thing that you must do is your job application. Number three, the third mistakes people are making is their job application. I see a lot of job application. Oh my God, it doesn't look good at all. Now, what makes a job application powerful? A job application must contain your resume. It must contain your cover letter. Yes, even though some job posting does not ask you for cover letter, but please still include your cover letter. Yes, it shows intentionality. It shows that employer that you've done your research. It shows that employer that you're serious. Not just including your cover letter and your resume. Your application have to be powerful. It has to be strong. Now, if you're applying to job using email job application, you must make sure that the subject of that email reflects what the body of the email is about. For example, application for the position of. Now, another thing that you should consider putting in the subject of that email is the number. The job. If you found any job on Job Bank, you have a number. You have a job number. Include it in the subject of that your application. If you're applying online, which means they automatically knows where it is coming from. But if it's via email, please try to let the person know where your application is, where you found the job. Canadian employers want to know. They want to know how you found them. So make sure that the subject have the code, the job code. If there is no job code, then you can explain in the body of the letter briefly. I found this job posting in, you mentioned, or someone mentioned about this job posting to me and gave me your email. Something like that. They want to know how. So solve that part for them by just telling them exactly where you found the job. It is very important. And while applying to any job, whether online, whether on company website, whether via email, if you have any certificates that can support that job application, please attach that certificate. It makes your job as powerful as possible. So be intentional about your job application in Canada. Don't just say, I have applied to 100 jobs and those 100 jobs, none was done accurately. No, it makes no sense. It is better to apply to one job, and that one job should be as powerful as possible. Now, the fourth mistake many people make is no follow-up. A lot of people just apply to jobs and they don't bother to follow up. Nothing like that at all. Please, after a successful job application, within the first 1 week of that job application, write a follow-up email. If you applied online, find out an email or a phone number that you will call. If you're in Canada, you know the location, you can also go in person. Follow-up is great in Canada. Please do it. Number 5, and the final mistake that a lot of people make, is that when they finally get that interview date, whether it's virtual interview or in-person interview, you fail to prepare. No proper interview preparation. Employers in Canada are intentional. They want to see your effort. They want to see your passion. They want to see passion can get you a job in Canada even faster than experience can. Yes. They want to show that, they want you to show them that you can easily align with their values. So before you go for any interview, please research that company. If you found the job via Job Bank, you can always see the name of the company. Make sure you research the company to understand their values, their missions, their vision, what they are currently working on. Understand these things. I have gone to an interview that one of the questions that I was asked is, can you mention at least 2 goals that this company is currently working on? Assuming I didn't study that company, I wouldn't know. So make your research, prepare for your interview properly. Rehearse some interview questions like, tell me about yourself. What are your professional strengths? How do you solve conflict at workplace? Things like this. Prepare for interview. Check other of my videos where I have talked about proper ways to prepare for interview in Canada. Make sure that you prepare properly for your interview. And another important thing, make sure you have a question that you ask your interviewer after, at the end of your interview, when they'll ask you whether you have any question for them. Ask question like, how does this role day-to-day activity look like in this organization? And how does this role attribute to the success of this company? Or attribute to the success of to achieving the goal that this company is working on? Ask a meaningful question that will show your interest in the organization. And also at the end of your interview, don't forget to follow up. If you have done these 5 things, or if you have learned these 5 mistakes I listed on this video, trust me, your next job application will be a very successful and intentional one. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. Please subscribe, share, comment, hit that notification button so that each time we drop a masterpiece, you will be here to learn. And I will see you all on my next video.